here's the thing to remember. When you do any kind of live event, regardless of, movie theater, in-house, out-of-house, you're going somewhere, but especially in-house, it has to be three things that you need to accomplish. Not two, not one, but three things. One is we're going to try to make it a buddy referral thing so we get new students. That's number one. Number two is we've got to make sure that we get all of our basic students there because we want to develop that rapport. That's where you really get to know the parents. They see you in a social atmosphere, like a Halloween party when you can do costume contest. We always do the scariest, the funniest, right, the most original, and we give medals and trophies for that. We make sure that at the beginning, when they first get there, we play Halloween games. We have them divided into a couple groups, and we have a little interaction where they're playing a Halloween type of game or activity. And so it's to get those basic students to feel like, wow, I want to be part of this school. They're so friendly, and I really have so much fun here. And then the third thing that you have to accomplish is to make sure that all of those people that are already on leadership are saying the same things. They're going, wow, this is fun. I really get to make new friends and establish friendships. And that's what keeps it as a family atmosphere. We always make ours a potluck get together, and we have a sign-up sheet. The sign-up sheet is what guest are you bringing? Now there's an actual list, so we see who's coming. We make sure that those people fill out a participation form because they are going to be doing some physical activity with some games, and we want to have a waiver that we already have from our existing students, but we don't on their guests. So that's why that has to be filled out.
By their parents. Yeah, by their parents. Yeah.
Exactly. It has to be signed just like any other consent. If they go to rebounders. But one of the ways that I found that encourages the students to bring a friend is we started the system of participation stripe. So if they come to a Halloween party, just as a coming themselves, they get a 5 bonus stripe on their belt. If they bring a friend, they get another 5 bonus stripe. Now, remember, if they fill out one complete attitude worksheet, those homework sheets,
yes,
one of those whole sheets, which could take a couple weeks to do, they only get 3 stripes for it. So getting 5 stripes for coming themselves, getting 5 extra stripes for bringing a friend is big. If their friend comes for the 2-week trial, they get another 5 bonus stripe. And if the student signs up for a regular program, they get a 10 bonus stripe. So they could potentially, and I'm looking at Bob for some reason. I'd rather look at Colby. There we go. I'll look at Colby on mine. Mm-hmm. So now they could potentially get 20 stripes from one event. Well, when we do our graduation and we're giving out trophies and medals based on how many of those stripes they get, I'll tell you, our last graduation, the student who won the MVP, who got the 3-foot trophy, and I wouldn't suggest starting with a 3-foot trophy because they do a 3-foot trophy because they had 185 stripes on their belt. Now, that's a lot of work. Some of them did like 3 or 4 of those character worksheets each. They did live events for us. If they come to a live event and help us at a movie theater, they get 1 stripe for each hour they're there helping. So we have a buddy referral thing, same thing as a Halloween party. They bring a friend, they get a 5 bonus stripe. You see how we get them engaged? So that whole reward system at the graduation, making that a big deal, is what gets them to buy into the stripe system. Guys, I can walk into my school without even knowing the students, without even having seen them to know who my A students are. I can walk through the class and I guarantee you I can pick out the top 10 and at least I'll be right on 80% of them or more. The only part that might be the gray area for me is, remember, what makes an A student qualified to upgrade is I have to have an A parent and an A student. If I have an A student but a B or C parent, I got to get the parent on board. So don't forget the rating of the parents. Now, one of the ways that helps us at the Halloween party, we have an adult division. We have the parents all dress up also. Some of them will come as a family, like a Star Wars family, and the whole family has the same theme of the costume. So we do a special award for best family costume. Now, all of our instructors dress up too. You know, what I hate is if I go to one of my school parties and I see my instructor in his karate suit, I'm going to go over and smack him. I'm going to say, what the hell? You're not leading by example. You're telling the parents to bring a costume, that it's a costume party, that we would love to have them participate. And we give a trophy and medal to the parents who have the best costumes. And you'll be surprised at how some of these parents really prize that award, and it makes them engaged. Now we're getting them socially engaged. Now we're not just preaching, we're actually doing by example of making our school a real family atmosphere. Having that type of family event when the parents come. Now, remember what I said about the sign-up sheet. The worst thing you can do is say, we're going to have a party and there's no sign-up sheet. Well, you don't know if anybody's going to show up. So we have 3 sheets. We have one that's called a main dish, another one that is called side dishes, and another sheet that's called desserts. We ask the parents to sign up on one of those sheets, whatever they would like to bring. And we tell them, because we have such an international school, that we tell them that we really like to sample their cultural dishes. So please don't just bring chicken from KC, but bring something from your culture, your country. And so now you get to sample all of these different foods and side dishes. We provide all the drinks. They provide the side dishes, the main dishes, the desserts. They put their name. Next to their name, they put how many people are coming with them. So that's counting brothers, sisters, mom and dad, and any guest. And then what food they're bringing. Now, we can look at that list as we see it's not filling up adequately. In each class, I'll go over to that sheet and I'll say, class, don't forget about our Halloween party this year. Remember, it's a big costume party. We'd love to have you here. I need more people have not signed up yet. So don't forget, everybody's expected to bring a dish. So bring something from your country that's that we would love to sample. And then what I do when I look through it, like the day before the event, I will do filler stuff. So I might have to go buy a couple pizzas, or I might have to buy a bucket of chicken. You know what I mean? Or I might have to get a couple side dishes, like a cheese tray or a fruit platter or something like that. Or I might get some a cake or cupcakes or something to fill in the desserts. So I kind of fill it up to make sure. But then we set up our party room in our intro room, decorated all up. The school is all decorated up, so make it seem festive so they get excited about it. If you just have like a Happy Halloween, one sign on the school, see, that's not getting into it. You got to really decorate the hell out of it, kind of like that Thornton Mile High Renewal Blitz, where you're bumping your head on all the signs and everything. So we really go all out and decorate and have these action things that make noise when they walk in the door. And so get in the mood, get in the festive time to get these people engaged. That's how you benefit from these events. It's not about, oh, we want to get together and have a party. No, it's a hell of a lot of work. But I tell you what, it's fun, but it develops new students because they're bringing a buddy. It develops the basic students, gets them more excited about our program. And then our ones that are already in leadership, it makes them feel like they want to be part of this school because it's a family group and they want to stay with us and become part of it. And we make them feel like that when they come. So when they come in the door, we have a couple of our instructors who meet them and greet them and welcome them in. Sometimes the parents come and they're not in costume and they start to leave, and we'll say, oh, no, you don't have to do that. That's fine. Not every parent will bring a costume, but please sit over because we want you to watch all the games the kids do, watch the contest, and really have a good time. There's a lot of food here. We would love you to be part of it. You see, don't let that parent walk in, drop the kid off, because then you're losing half of that. Remember, we have to have an A parent and a student. Well, if we have the kid there, we can get him to an A, but if the parent's not there, we're not helping facilitate that parent to become an A parent. Does everybody follow me? Did I cover that in enough detail?
Yes, sir. Can I ask one more question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I wanted to ask, so is it mostly just a refer or like a retention event? That's what I've been doing in the past. I go all out. I have everything that you described, and even some things I really go overboard with the Halloween party. But
okay,
is it mostly like a retention thing?
It should be all three. All the events, whenever you do them, if you the best you can, make them all. You make them all everything. They can generate new members. They can be a retention event, and they can turn into an upgrade event. It doesn't have to be just one thing.
Don't waste your bullets. Why go for a single shot when you can do a triple shot? Why not triple your results? Because now we help our retention. We help our upgrading the basic students. We help get new students. Why would I do one when I can do the other two without any more work, just a little more focus? Okay. You follow me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I don't mean don't not make it a big buddy referral. Yes, we're going to do that, but yes, I think that make those basic students excited about the program. I'm going to make sure that I personally invite every parent and child in my basic class. I don't just announce it, because I'm going to tell you, most of the basic kids will not come until you talk to the parents, you explain to the kid how much fun it's going to be and what all you're going to do. So I tell them, have you signed up for the Halloween party? Well, we were thinking about, oh, you can't miss this. This is our most exciting event of the year. We have costume parties, we play games, we have all kinds of food and refreshments. It's really one of our biggest events of the year. You can't miss this. You see, now when I make a big deal out of it, they make a big deal out of it. Because if my basic students don't come, then I lost a third of my benefit of that event. Does that all make sense?
And to make sure everybody's clear on that, the basic students are the ones that are going to be the best ones to bring buddies. So when you invite the basic students, they tend to be better at bringing their friends. The students that have been with you a long time, they might bring friends, but you've probably asked them to bring friends a million times, and half their friends are karate friends as well. So when Master Smith is making sure he invites all the basic students, that's important. But then they also, one of your questions, Jim, is that you want to get them to bring buddies. So the only way they're going to bring buddies, or the higher percentage, the higher leverage ones to bring buddies are going to be your lower rank students, because they haven't experienced these things before. They're more excited about them. But the other thing he mentioned was, if you have a really strong reward system in the school, like he does, then if you tie the reward system into bringing buddies, so that when you bring buddies, they get a lot of rewards. They get exponentially better rewards than what they would normally get, that way exceed what the work they would have to do to get that reward is by bringing a buddy. Then they're going to be more motivated to bring buddies.
And I will tell you, Master Moody, because, and I probably was tuning it in the wrong direction there. I'm telling you, I'm putting more of my emphasis on the basic because my intermediate and advanced students already know how much fun they are. So I know they all come. I mean, we have about at least a 60 to 70% participation on advanced and intermediate students. But
I think
I will get them to bring a friend too, because we're still doing the stripes and they understand sometimes even better than the basic students how important those extra bonus stripes are. So they will tend to bring more friends. You know, in our old system, when we didn't do the reward system, we found that it was mostly the basic students that brought people when we asked them. And the advanced students kind of, okay, they brought them at one time, but they don't do it anymore. Our intermediate and advanced students, because everything under black belt is working towards getting that big 3-foot trophy or getting a trophy, because we don't make the graduation a reward system for one person. It's we have 3 graduations during that day, as in a lot of your schools do for the underbelts. And in each one of those, I will divide it. If there's 40 in it, I'm going to divide it into 4 groups of 10, and then take my top 3 winners in each one of those groups. And I'll group them usually according to age or to rank, depending on what evens it out the most, and then give those awards, because the idea is not to have only one person out of the whole thing getting it. So we'll do that in each one of the 3 graduations, and then do our overall MVP, who gets the big trophy and the special belt that they get to wear, which becomes a big prestigious event too.
Well, so, but again, guys, so if what Master Smith is talking about is if you build a strong enough reward system, then you tie that into bringing the buddies, then they'll want to bring more buddies. So, I mean, there's other ways you can also make sure you bring buddies. If I could add on to that, we always tell them that they're going to, you know, that the thing's fun and they should bring buddies and that there's rewards. But also what we've been using that's worked pretty well is during the event, there's some reason. Now in the Halloween party, it's a little different, but we try to figure out some reason why they should bring their buddy. So during the Halloween event, we're telling the parents that we're going to do a few little safety things. We're going to do some safety activities too. It's going to be really fun, and there's going to be all this stuff happening. And we've got games, and all the ones that have done it before, we'll tell them. You were here last year. You know, we'll make sure the kids tell them about how fun it was last year. But then we'll do a couple safety activities with them. And the parents, it's always before Halloween. Like this year, it's on the Friday before Halloween. And we say they've got to come because we're going to train them on how to make sure they're safe if they're out trick-or-treating. And what we want them to do is bring a friend. So when they're trick-or-treating with their friends, all the friends around them know how to be safe. So that's why we want to make sure that they bring their friends. And when we use that message of there's a reason why they should bring their friends, not just so that they have fun with their friends or there's a reward, then there's 2 reasons. There's 1, they get rewards, and 2, we're telling the parents there's literally a safety reason why they should bring their friends.